presentation, you will learn about culture. Culture comes from the Latin root colere, to inhabit, cultivate, or honor, generally referring to patterns of human activity and the symbolic structures that give such activity significance. Anthropologists commonly use culture to refer to the universal human capacity to classify, codify, and communicate their experiences symbolically. Edward B. Tyler defined culture as that complex whole which includes knowledge, belief, art, morals, law, custom, and any other capabilities and habits acquired by man as a member of society. In other words, culture is associated with growth like agriculture, whereby crops are cultivated. Characteristics of culture. Culture is learned and acquired. Culture is acquired because certain behaviors are carried from one generation to another. Individuals inherit certain qualities from their parents. Socio-cultural patterns are learned from family members, immediate circle, society in which an individual grows. Thus, it could be drawn that the culture of human beings is influenced by the physical and social environment through which they operate. Culture is shared by a group of people. A thought or action may be labeled as a culture if it is shared and believed or practiced by a group of people. Culture is cumulative. Knowledge learned by one generation is passed to another generation with time. The next generation adds some of their observation, creativity, and further it gets modified. Hence, we can call this cumulative. For example, if you have inherited an ancestral property, you may further paint the house, decorate it, make modifications, and pass it on to your siblings or family members. Some changes like rainwater harvesting system, air conditions, etc. are also added. Culture changes. Modification and addition are an integral part of culture. Culture is never constant. There are always changes. The aspects that are not useful for a particular society don't last. Certain rituals and customs essential for the continuity of society continue. For example, marriage in earlier times used to happen for days. Annual festivals in villages used to take place for days together. Now it has been changed to 3 to 4 hours an event. The process has changed, however, it continues. Culture is dynamic. Culture keeps on evolving with time and is also fluid. Culture makes us human. Animals have an instinct. If you have observed a chick as soon as it's born, it keeps searching worms, insects for feed. With humans, learning is for a long period. For example, college, schools, etc. Culture is ideational. It stands as a benchmark through which individuals are expected to learn and follow. For Stuart Hall, culture does not consist of what the educated elites or fancy like, for example, classical music or fine arts. It is experience lived, experience interpreted, experience defined, and it tells us things about the world. He believed that our more traditional studies of politics, economic alone could not. For Hall, culture is also a site for negotiation. The Center for Advanced Research on Language Acquisition goes a step further, defining culture as shared patterns of behaviors and interactions, cognitive constructs, and understandings learned by socialization. Thus, it can be seen as the growth of a group identity fostered by social patterns unique to the group. Thank you for watching the presentation. Do like, subscribe, share, and leave your comments about this presentation or any other topics you would like to learn more about.